name is Shawnee Tharp. I am the Vice President of Asset Management for Trammell Crow Residential. We are a developer of multifamily apartment communities throughout the country. I manage multifamily, which means that there are people living in the buildings. And it's really important that we provide a safe home for people. In our urban areas, we find that there is a little bit more crime than you might see in a suburban area. It's car break-ins, bike room break-ins, just people sleeping in front of your building. So those kinds of things are happening on such a regular basis. And we had security guards at most of these buildings, and we were finding that that wasn't helping at all. The reality is a security guard is really just there to observe and report. So if they can't see what's going on all over the property, they're really not that effective. And it was very expensive, so I was looking for solutions. I was able to reach out to my stealth representative, and immediately he came to my assistance. We sat on the phone together and we actually looked at the angles of the camera. We actually made sure that this was going to work. That kind of service, you don't get that from many companies. It was so fast of me saying that, hey, I really need your help, to having live monitoring at this site. At first, it feels a little scary to let that guard go. But as soon as you experience that they're actually keeping the property safe and they've got people watching all the time, you actually get to focus on your number one priority, which is running the business. Stealth helps me to put together a plan that's going to be the most effective for actually operating the building. For instance, I have a building here in San Diego, and because half of the building is still under construction, we have lots of open areas. So it's very possible for bad guys to walk through the building, and once they get into the building, they're in, and the rest of the residents now could be potentially impacted by that. So what's nice is I was able to call Stealth, ask them for emergency help, and so immediately a Stealth employee came out. It was an emergency service. They helped me to position the cameras. They helped to make sure that the NVRs were all working. It's not just cameras and it's not just monitoring. It's people that care about the community. Prior to implementing Stealth on my communities, I was spending a lot of time trying to calm down residents, trying to calm down the property management companies, and trying to figure out how we're going to make this better. How are we going to solve these issues? Now that it's all together and I've got Stealth watching my urban sites, I don't have to worry about those issues anymore. Now it's, let's look at the video, let's figure out what we need to do to reinforce it, and then let's move on. And it becomes moments instead of hours or days. What's nice is that Stealth literally can go in and they put that little film together for you. I had a person that just ran right through a gate and hit another car, that hit a motorcycle, that hit another car. So it's kind of a big deal. In many situations, that person could have fled and we would have never known what happened. So Stealth will actually take a look at the time frame of what was the incident, what's the license plate number. It's things like that, which if you didn't have Stealth and you didn't have someone that could actually curate the entire crime scene, then you might not be able to help prosecute or get insurance proceeds. Stealth has this great feature, it's these speakers. So not only do you have cameras and eyes in the sky, but you also have the ability to communicate to the bad guys. They can contact the police department immediately. We've actually caught multiple people breaking into bike rooms and apprehending the culprit right there. Break-ins and incidents have completely been reduced. More times than not, Stealth has caught it and they've already reacted to it. I had a situation in one of my urban locations that's heavier crime than I'd like to admit. This was a situation that almost brought tears to my eyes because it was so heartbreaking to see things that happen at your community, but it did happen. 2 women that were entering my parking garage and 2 men held them up. They cornered them into the garage and they held them up. And you can tell that Stealth intervened because immediately the speakers go off and you can see that the bad guys all of a sudden quickly try to get out of there. And the women, because they heard the speaker go off, became a little bit more confident and actually started to a little bit fight back. The police were called immediately and bad guys left and the women were safe. It could have been a lot worse than it was. It's exactly what you're trying to do, is you're trying to keep the bad guys out as much as you possibly can, but you're not going to avoid crime. You're never going to avoid crime. Bad guys are going to get in. But if you can at least try to stop it, minimize it, get the police there, that's what you want. And so to me, Stealth, that was a big win. Anyone that ever has a security issue of any sort, I'll tell them that you need to go and spend your money on something that's actually effective. And Stealth, compared to having a live guard, has cut my expenses 60%. It's been amazing. You're gonna be a lot happier, you're gonna have a lot less stress in your life, and you're gonna be happy you did it.